Hello, and welcome back from Kentucky to Tokyo. So, yeah, I decided I might as well do another one since it's the weekend and I have free time, and why not? So, I already received feedback about my background of it's too white, definitely, and as I was told, my face disappears into the background because it's so white. So, yeah, I will be using this background. It's my curtains. I'm too cheap to go out and buy a new drop down background thing. So this is how it is now for now. Later on I may change things, but for now this is the way it is. I have a topic today of homesickness and how to deal with it when you are living abroad. I get this question a lot. I received it again from somebody else who was talking about, "Oh, I'm coming on jet. Please tell me what to do." So I will talk about it now. Homesickness, it can be tricky. Some people experience it almost immediately after coming to Japan. Some people don't ever experience it. Some people do like me, where after a few months of living in Japan, they experience it for a short, brief period of time, and then they are fine, and then only experience it maybe every once in a blue moon. Um, yeah, I experienced my worst, kind of time of homesickness my first year around Halloween. I really love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday. I really don't care about the rest of them as much. Christmas time is great, don't get me wrong, I love family, I love friends, I love presents. Of course, who doesn't love presents? But there's just something so wonderful about Halloween. It gets my heart so happy. But yeah, in Japan they haven't really adopted Halloween. It's a holiday-ish kind of thing, but nobody really does anything for it. It's just not part of the culture here. They have their own day called Obon, which is the Day of the Dead, and that's very, very different though from Halloween. Halloween and the Western cultural sense of dressing up and putting masks on and putting face makeup on and doing costumes and things, it's just not really a big deal here. There are parties and things, but I don't know. I live in Kentucky, and in Kentucky, there are hay rides, and there are haunted houses that you can go to, and there are movie marathons showing on all the network shows, and I don't know. It's more in the culture of America than it is in Japan. So I missed it a lot. I missed doing fun stuff with my friends. I missed, going costume shopping with them and things. And I didn't get to do that here very much. So what ended up happening was I just decided, okay, I will take away stress from myself. And that's the number one thing you could probably do if you feel homesick. Is try and decrease the amount of stress you are under. So if your boss wants you to do something extra that during that time that you feel homesick, go ahead and politely just say, "Oh, sorry, no, I can't. I'm not feeling very well. I think I'm coming down with a cold, or I think I'm got hay fever or something, Just give them something so that they won't think that you're just not coming to work. You're not gonna do it, but you have a reason. And it's okay to say something like that. In America, there are days where people will say, "I need a mental health day," but those really aren't available in Japan, and your coworkers will just not understand. So go ahead and lie just a little. Just say, "Oh, I think I'm coming down with something. I'm not feeling so good. My head hurts," something like that. And they'll just, "Oh, okay, I understand," and they'll back off. Uh, and I do recommend, like I said, go ahead and just take time for yourself. Relax. When you go to your apartment or to your share house, wherever you are, watch English movies and just be with people who speak English and kind of talk with people about, how you feel. Everybody in living abroad understands to some extent, of course, about feeling alone and isolated because are a foreigner in a foreign country. So talk with friends about it. And if you need to, go ahead and Skype your family or Google your family or whatever, app you use on your phone or something. Go ahead and call them up and just talk to them like, "Hey, do you miss me? I miss you. I love you." Things like that. That's okay. And you can talk with them about all the things you miss and ask about, "Hey, Mom, can you get me Lucky Charms or Reese's? It's comfort foods from back home. Please send me a box. My mother's sending me a box soon, and I'm so excited. Lucky Charms. Anyway, so there are going to be days that you miss things and you just don't get them, and it's okay. It's all right. Everybody has those days. And it's like I said, just decrease your stress, talk with people about it. Reach out to the family that's half a world away. It's legit okay. And also, if you want to talk on forums with other people who are on the JET program, I believe the JET program still has forums on its websites and things, and they have resources available for if you really feel. So, if you enter a bout of not just homesickness, but actual depression, they have peer counseling that they can help you with through JET. And then, if you feel bad and you're not on JET, you can still, there are resources available. There's one called TELL, and it's like something English line, and it's a counseling service, and they can help you if you feel not just homesick, but actually like so homesick I kind of feel all I want to do is just stay in bed and not move. If you're to that extreme degree, then you should reach out to professional counseling help, and it is available here. Then, if you live out in the countryside, even they can Skype with you, I believe, and they can, call on the phone, and they can help you find resources available in your area so that you can talk to a therapist or talk to a psychiatrist or whatever you need to do. And if you need to do that, go ahead. I mean, do it. Do whatever you need to do to feel better, and do whatever you need to do to feel like yourself again. If you even need to take time off, I one time in February of one year, I forget if it was my first, no, it was my second year, second year. My second year of staying in Japan in February, there was a week where I felt terrible. I don't know how to explain it, but I couldn't function. So I took a few days off, and I took like 3 days off, and I took the weekend, so I took like 5 days in total off just to be at home and not do anything because I felt just, I don't know, like there was this like weight on my chest and everything just felt too much. And that's okay. If you need to take time off, do it. And don't force yourself to keep going to work, because that's how I got so bad. I forced myself to keep going to work and keep working, and I had all these projects going on at the same time, and I just kind of broke a little. Oops. So don't do that. Like, if you can feel that you are heading towards a breaking point, go ahead, take a couple days off and just relax. Trust me, it's good for you. And if you're on the JET program, you get, I believe, 20 vacation days and you get 15 sick days. And go ahead and just, um, use your vacation days or whatever. And if your boss is more lenient about your sick days, where you can just go home and you can just say you're sick, then okay. But if you need a doctor's note, go ahead and use your vacation days. If you work at an eikaiwa and they only give you limited vacation days, well, I'm sorry, but even still, I don't know. This is a choice you'll have to make if you work at like a business or an eikaiwa or something. If you only get like 10 vacation days and you got to use them sparingly. But I don't know. In my opinion, I think mental health is more important than money. But if you're stretched for money, I know that's a tough call to make, and you got to make that call. But like I said, if you need to get help, there are options available. Tell is a great resource. I'll see if I'll put a link in the description and get it in there. And if you need to talk to somebody, you can. And then if you feel that you need to, maybe, if you do, there are, in the rare case you feel like you do need to go home, that you need to break your contract and you need to just go ahead and go back, that's okay. A lot of people don't want to break their contracts. They feel that breaking their contract is, because you're told in JET that breaking a contract in Japan is like the worst thing you could ever do. But eh, it's your life on the line here. So it's your mental health and your life. So if you feel that your homesickness is so bad, like it's not just 1 week or like a few days, like if it keeps going for over a month, then I would say go ahead and make the call to start the process of leaving. If you know you need to leave, then leave. Then that's the thing you can always count on. If you feel so homesick that you can't handle, it's okay. You have a home to go back to. So do it. Just go home and just be with your people again, and it'll work out. I know people who have broken their contracts. Not many, but people who have broken their contracts and they go home and they're so happy and everything. And there's me. I felt homesick for a week or two, and then there was that one time, yeah, I kind of broke myself a little bit. But in the end, I stayed, and now I'm 5 years going on, and I feel fine. I rarely feel homesick anymore. And if I do, I just Facebook or Google my people or Skype or whatever. I use Facebook the most. I don't know why, I just do. Um, and yeah, so if you ever feel though like it's time to go, then go. But if you're like me and you only experience it a little bit, don't make the mistake of making that kind of big decision only like 3 days in and be like, oh, I have to leave Japan. No, I'm talking about if you've had it for like over a month or two, or like it just is an ongoing feeling that you have, then you should definitely do it. But if it's only a few days, if it's only a week, it will pass, and you will find that Japan has many, many great things to offer. And the way that you can definitely kick homesickness like in the bucket is just go ahead and start making a home here. Your If you're like me and you came right after university, this is the first place that is all your own. This is the first place that you don't have to share with a roommate. You don't have to share with your mom. You don't have to have your brother coming in and being like, hey, I want my CD back. And, ruining your. Yeah. Anyway, so I love my family, I promise, but you know how families are. So this will be like your first big area all to yourself. Big, well, depending on what kind of apartment you have, your first area to yourself, and make it your own. Make Put up pictures of like family and friends. I've got pictures of my family running around here. um, Go ahead and get movies that are in English and keep them in your house. Have posters up. Do anything to make it feel like it is your space and this is where you belong. That's a good way to do it. Like, I think it's called nesting, is one of the cultural adaptational stages. And it's a good way to just start making it your own place and making this your place that you live. It's a great thing to do, and it'll help you to not feel as homesick because the apartment you live in will become your home. And making a support system where you live, making friends, having people you can talk to about, oh, I feel so lonely and homesick. And then you can have a friend who can be like, I know, I understand it can be tough when you live away from home and family. And it's good. If you have a support system, if you've got friends that you can talk to about it, Japanese or American or British or Irish or anybody, okay. If you've got people to talk to, that's great. And then when you are living in your city or your region or whatever, you will find that you will form relationships there. The more relationships you form, the more it feels like you belong there. If you stay at home all the time and you don't go out and you don't do anything, you're not going to form any kind of bonds to the place that you live in. So the bonds with the people equals the bonds with your place. So being a part of the community is a great way to like kind of kill your homesickness. Get involved if you've got a cultural association or a cultural club or something in your area, join it and ask them, oh, is there anything you need help with in English? Are there events that I can be a part of? And when you go to events, you meet more people. When you meet more people, you form bonds. When you form bonds, you make a home, and etc. And the more people you get to know, the more people who you can click with and become friends with, and yeah, it'll help your emotional stability. And if you also do it that way, you also will find resources available for English things like Tell or medical help in English, and it'll actually be helpful for you in other ways too to make it feel more of a home in important matters. I highly recommend it. Like community centers generally will have resources available for you, and they'll even have programs like you can exercise at community centers here. You can do some sort of Japanese cultural things there. Ikebana. I did Ikebana classes, and that's flower arranging with my Japanese teacher in Ibaraki, and that was a lot of fun. You know, make time to make hobbies and with people. Uh, there are some hobbies where like, crocheting and knitting, but that's by yourself. But like social hobbies and to be social with people. And yeah, the with when you do that and you are more social, you will find that you will not be as homesick as often as you were before. Like notice my first year and my second year, I was kind of like there was homesickness in there. But now I've got so many friends that I have here in Japan. I've got a job that I really like, and I've got students and things that, I'm a part of this community. I'm a part of this area now. And since I'm a part of this area now, and it feels like home, I don't need to feel like I have to go back to my previous home. So, yeah, so making your own home here is very important to helping you not feel homesick. And, that's that's pretty much all I have to say about it. If you have any specific questions about homesickness or becoming acclimated to your environment here or being a part of the community, I'll answer those in the next video. But for now, that's all I really got to say. Uh, anytime you guys have, like I said, anytime you guys got questions, I'll answer them. And then, if possible, by the way, if anybody knows how to deal with AdSense, I had problems trying to connect my YouTube to AdSense, and it won't work. It's saying that my Gmail has been used in AdSense before, but it hasn't been, and I'm very confused. So if anybody knows how to do that, that would be great. And if you could just comment below or send me a message or something, that'd be really appreciated. Thank you. Right now, I'm well, I wasn't going to anyway, but I'm not making like any kind of ad revenue money off of the videos. I monetized. I put enable monetization, and they're like, go to AdSense and connect, and I can't. So I don't know what to do about that right now. I guess I'll just have that as an ongoing fight. Anyway, yeah, so that's all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Matane. Goodbye.